Hello and welcome to Fast Ginger, coming to you live from the Fast Ginger International Headquarters in Charleston, West Virginia. We have Signal 13 here in the old F1 car, the F3500A, doing Monza for 40 minutes. Thought I would hop on here and do a couple laps real quick to show you the track and just to figure out how difficult this is going to be. So here we go. We'll pop out here on the track real quick. And here we go into turn one. A lot of action through here. Safely through the S's. Accelerate up through here into Curve de Grande, I believe it is. And then we brake about 150 or so. A little longer than that. Don't go over those or get a penalty. Could have downshifted one more there. Could have gone a little deeper, past 50. Tree on the right, you brake. Cut it. Accelerate out. Long straight stretch here. And into a heavy braking zone right around after this bridge. Don't want to hit those little bumps too hard or swing too wide. And final backstretch here into this curve. There's a light post right there. You accelerate after. And here we are on the front stretch again. Carry a lot of speed through here. Good drafting zone. And really got to watch that pit exit. Could have gone a little deeper. We go a little deeper here. That opening. Hear the bottom out of the car. Some people may have it use that downforce, the arrow. Definitely need to have speed for that arrow to keep you planted to the track. Not a bad first couple laps here. And we'll go a little deeper here. Back in was trying to get out of there. So there we go. So that's a good feel for the track. And we'll abandon our car for now and we'll hop over in here to the studio and call the race. But yeah, this is a very fast race track. And that first turn, on the first lap is very difficult to make it through without any incidents. There we go. Get my keyboard here. There we go. All right, so we have I believe, 9 competitors this evening, so that's pretty good. Sleepy Turbo here, first on the... We got, let's see here, we got Old School tonight, Castro, Sleepy Turbo, Rotten Kraut, Don P, Forfan, J-Mac, Newbie, and Jim Shady. So we could take a look at Old School. I think he's the one he won last race in that orange liveried McLaren looking race car. So this is the beginning of his first lap here. Hope if I got that off of there. So Old School first across the line to start his qualifying. Safely through the first chicane there. Sleepy's a little squirrely through there. Rotten Kraut making it through. Don P making it through in the MTV car. Warfan coming through in the Camel. J-Mac getting ready to go across the chicanes of death. And here comes Newbie in the Red Bull livery. And Jim Shady coming across to take the green flag for his first flying lap. Old School here in final set of curves. Here it is. Now he's coming to Parabolica. And see what kind of time he has. Looked like the front was pushing through that corner. Across the line. Castro comes across the line and takes the provisional lead. Rotten Kraut jumps up to second. Don P should be the next one across. He's in fifth. J-Mac in sixth. Jumping up to fifth. Jim Shady. Don P has gone to seventh. Jim Shady getting ready to take the first lap. Deep into that Parabolica curve. Across the line into the pole position for now. So Newbie there in second. So Jim Shady took the pole. Newbie. See if we have anybody getting close. Looks like Castro is about to take the... Jumps up to third. Here we'll see how Rotten Kraut does. See if he improves his lot in life. Up to fifth. For fans, see what happens here. Up to fourth. And Don P has a penalty. J-Mac coming across. Newbie came across two. Staying in second. J-Mac up to six. First set of tires, and out they go. Jim Shady getting ready to take the green here. No improvement. And he goes into the pits. Newbie's out here trying to improve. Just marginally in second place. Castro here trying to improve his lot in life. A little wide there, but kept it going straight. Sometimes that AstroTurf there will throw you off. Castro here into Parabolica. Good clean exit. Stay into the inside to make the track shorter. And takes it. No improvement. Fan has gone into the pits. Don P here getting ready to take the last corner, see if he can make an improvement on his 8th place. Newbie there getting ready to take the checker. Don P across. No improvement. Check on Sleepy Turbo. Going through the hairpin here. Does the hairpin have a name? Del Retifrio. Into the Curve de Grande. Rogia, then Lesmos. See Castro getting ready to go across the line, and no improvement there. Who's next? There we go. Old School here getting ready to go across the line and jumps up to 3rd. So big improvement there. Trying to find the next driver in line here. There we go. Fan. I think he just came out of the pit, so this is his first flying lap after being in the pits. And Newbie still in second. Don P. Looks like Sleepy Turbo has improved his position. Jim Shady getting ready to come across. Another time. Down 2 seconds from his best, so no improvement there. We are 9 minutes into a 10-minute qualifying, so he's got this lap, and that'll be it for him. Castro getting ready to finish another lap, and he should have one more to go after this one. Did not give him a time there, so here comes Fan. Does not appear to have made any and Newbie comes across in pole position. We've only got a couple cars on the track. Castro looks like he's done, so Fan on his final lap. Don P on his final lap as well. So Don P is just slightly ahead of Fan, but not ahead of him enough to give him any tow, and he goes off, and that'll ruin his time. And that will definitely ruin his time as he goes into the pits. So let's follow Forfan and see what happens. 5th place is not a bad starting position. And it looks like Jim Shady has already decided to go to the hard tire for the start. And Forfan jumping up to 2nd place. So sounds like he got a handle on the track. He indicated earlier that he had not had much time to practice his race, so wasn't sure what it was going to be like, but obviously he figured it out there. So we are done with qualifying and getting ready for the start of our race. Again, we can go over the track real quick here. After the start finish is the chicane, Retiflo, Variante. We'll just call it Variante. How's that? And then Curve de Grande. Then we go into Regia, which is another hairpin. And then the Lesmos curves 4 and 5. Sarajevo, Gio, I don't know. Turn 6, which isn't much of a turn. It's a bend. And then Ascari curves. And then Parabolica. So a lot of fast straightaways. Some pretty good places to pass. And some pretty good places to screw up too. So should be an interesting one. Good mix of drivers here. Rio Taco. And qualifying is finished. We'll look at the standings here. Jim Shady is in the lead after two rounds. Ricky B is in 2nd place. Forfan is in 3rd. Snafu Ramon, who is not in the race this week, is in 4th. Castro is in 5th. Ray 6th. Rotten Crowd in 7th. Last Shot 8th. 9th Matt. 10th SB Racing. J-Mac 11th. And Half Sight Hero in 12th. So standings will be shaken up a little bit. And looks like we did a track reset, maybe. Trying to get Rio Taco in, I would say. As everybody checks in. Since we are spectating, we do not need to check in. That's what happened that one race. It kept trying to put us on the grid because I had checked in, and we do not check in as a spectator. So we're getting this all reset. Preparing the room, please wait. Practice is currently taking place. You can go to the track and enter the race. So I'm assuming what we'll do is you'll probably just go in and set the grid. All right. Looks like we are, resetting and resetting. So we will wait for this. As Forfan gets the grid set. For 40 minutes of racing. So 20 some laps. And no chance of rain. But a good chance for action. And let's go ahead and look at the track overlay, but you can see that there used to be a humongous oval here, and it still exists for the most part. And if you go back and watch the old movie Grand Prix from the 1960s, Garner was the actor, but you can see those Formula One cars from back in that time going through the extreme banking on this racetrack. I know that some other games have the old layout. It was quite wild and quite dangerous from the looks of it. But yeah, it's still there. And a couple years ago, they had some flooding and some storms, so the track doesn't quite look the same because a lot of those trees are missing now, so it's not as green around the track as it used to be. So this reflects the old Monza and the trees. But if you watch Formula One now or any other race at Monza, there's a lot less trees. So it kind of looks a little bald or naked compared to how it is here. But the track itself has not changed. All right, looks like we're getting ready to do the race here after everything's been squared away. Rio Taco has entered the building. We'll go to the spectate. We'll get everything set here, and we are good to go. Okay, we can see Newbie is using 2 to the rear for his brake balance, and we've got an accident here at the beginning. Old School got a bad start and Sleepy Turbo got into him, but everybody got back underway. So yeah, no, everybody's still in a bunch here. Jim Shady's out in the lead, 4Fan. Their Newbie was looking. See if everybody makes it through. Everybody did make it through. J-Mac here in the back. Rotten Crowd is in 9th. So we get back here. Jim Shady in first. 4Fan in second for now. Newbie, 4Fan, Castro and Don P here fighting. Somebody's off. Don P is off. Let's see what happened here. Did he get pushed off or did he? Oh, he just spun on his own. Jim Shady in the lead. 4Fan third. Old School fourth. Castro fifth. J-Mac here in 7th. 8th, Don P. and Rotten Kraut in 9th. Rio Taco is back here in 10th. Getting through Parabolica. Newbie out front. Jim Shady. Something happened there. I think we're probably too far along. So Newbie must have got him coming out of Parabolica. Come back to live here. A lot of action to try to catch so far. So Jim Shady's back in second. Newbie is taken off. Here we got Old School and Four Fan fighting for third and fourth. All right, so Old School has consolidated third place and is moving up to second. Got Four Fan in fourth, Castro here in fifth, Sleepy Turbo sixth, J-Mac in seventh, Don P here in eighth, Rotten Kraut in ninth, Rio Taco in 10th place. Get back up here. Newbie is taken off. He is on soft tires and drinking down the fuel. Little lag there. Still on 2 to the front or 2 to the back on his brake bias. And we've got Old School on racing softs with much more fuel than Newbie. Newbie's burning through the fuel. Old School, Four Fan, good bit of fuel left and good tires, but racing softs. Castro racing softs. Jim Shady has the most fuel of all. Sleepy Turbo's burning through the fuel. J-Mac burning through the fuel as well. Don P and Rotten Kraut has used very little fuel. He's definitely in fuel saving mode. So Four Fan has gone to the lead because Newbie and Old School have decided to go into the pits, as has J-Mac and Don P. So change at the front due to pit stops. Four Fan's out in the lead for now. Castro is in second. Sleepy Turbo in third, but will need to pit. Jim Shady is going for the long run, as is Rotten Kraut. And Newbie just lost it coming out of the chicane there. Yep, just lost it on acceleration. Four Fan out into the lead. Castro followed. Sleepy Turbo really nursing that car, see if he can get it. I think he's out of fuel. He is. Pushed it one lap too many. So that's detrimental. Four Fan has come into the pits, as has Castro. I think Jim Shady will stay out for another couple laps. Old School has been in the pits. Sleepy has not made it to the pits yet. That just hurts. All right, Jim Shady back out into the front. And still looking good with his fuel mileage. Old School has already had one pit stop. Four Fan has completed his pit stop and is in third. Newbie's done his pit stop in fourth. Castro just out of his pit. Don P, J-Mac, Rotten Kraut has not been into the pits yet. Back here in 8th. Rio Tacos here in 9th. Sleepy Turbo done with his pit stop. Jump up here to Jim Shady. I'm assuming he will go in for a pit this time. See what happens. He definitely looks like he's heading that way. He is. Old School here. He does not need to pit. All right, so Newbie is in 2nd place, being followed closely by Forfan. Castro a little ways back, but still in sight of those two. Don P here in 5th place, just behind Castro, so he's not out of anything. Old School here, crashing those sausage curbs. Newbie with a half-second penalty for track limits for Fan. We'll see. I think that penalty serving zone is right after the Ascari curves. 1st place going by, 2nd place, 3rd place. See how much difference this will be. Serves his penalty, but is able to keep 2nd place. Sorry about that. Old School is coming in for a first pit stop, so Newbie is in as well, putting Forfan back into 1st place. So, not sure what the multiplier is for the fuel, but from the looks of it, we're going to be pitting every 4 to 5 laps. So, that'll be interesting. Castro here in 2nd now. Jim Shady and Old School in pursuit. Newbie here in 5th place. J-Mac is right there on him. Crashing those curves. Oh, wow. Got a little squirrely there. So we got Forfan still out front with a few laps left to take fuel. Castro looking good. Jim Shady here looking decent. Old School here in 4th place for now. But Forfan is out of sync as far as pit stops go with these other drivers, so really hard to tell who's in the lead. Old School goes wide there in the Parabolica, but not too wide to get a penalty. Forfan's still in the lead, followed by Castro. And Old School and Jim Shady getting a little touchy. Oh! And we have so that was... Oh, he gets reset. But that was a little bit of a racing instinct going into turn one. But that's what happens in that turn. One of the places to pass, and sometimes things go awry. Four fan here, going to pit. Yep. Castro will stay out. Newbie will as well, so he should come out and stay in second place. Four fan has just now started to take fuel, so we will see where he comes out. Here he comes. Can't quite see him, so Newbie safely here in the second place for now. There's Four fan getting a little wide as he comes through there on slightly used tires. Is Newbie. Did Four fan take new tires? He did. So Castro will need tires and fuel into the next stop. Newbie might just take fuel, no tires. Four fan took tires. Jim Shady's looking good there. Don P. Old School here in 6th. Rotten Crowd here in 7th place. Looks like he's had one pit stop, maybe. J Mac here. Yeah, this is going to be right down to the wire because everybody's on a different strategy as far as fuel and mileage and all of that good stuff. Rio Taco got a squirrely McDonald's connection there. Castro into the pits, as is Newbie, putting Four fan back out into the lead. Don P coming around and going into the pits. Old School will be staying out. See, we'll follow him, see if he stays in 6th place. See if we see anybody coming out of the pits. We do not. So jump back up here into Four fan's car, who's out in the lead with Jim Shady in 2nd. Newbie here in 3rd. Castro in 4th with a full tank of fuel. Hunting down Newbie, who's got maybe a lap more fuel. Touching grass there. Hopefully that just 2 tires will not give you dirty tires per the race. Rotten Crowd here in 6th place. J Mac hot on his heels. Look at the angle on those back tires. Definitely got the back end of that thing low to the ground, throwing off those sparks. J Mac closing in. All right, Four fan's still out there. Newbie's still there. Castro coming across. Jim Shady will fall back behind Old School. Rotten Crowd coming in as well. J Mac coming across. Up into the 5th. Rio Tacos taking over 7th. Rotten Crowd has gone into the pits. And Sleepy Turbo here coming into the pits as well. So pit crews are getting a workout today. 23 minutes into this race with 17 minutes left to go. So that's what, like 5 more pit stops. So Newbie here in second. Fan here continuing to lead. And hoping that you can get the timing just right. Yellow flags here coming into that first S curve. Not sure what that was. Oops. People going a little wide there. Don P. a little wide. Fan here closing in on somebody. Sleepy Turbo. It's got a 3-second penalty. Probably a pit lane infraction. Fan here coming across through Lesmos. Heading towards the Scari. Heavy on the brakes. Looking good. Newbie doing his Max Verstappen impersonation here. Castro, Jim Shady closing in. Or Old School, I mean. Looks like he's close enough to be in his slipstream. Got a good run on him. And he goes into the pits. Okay. Fan coming out of the pits, I guess. Full tank of fuel, but no tires. Castro. Newbies looking good on fuel for now. Old Schools look good. Dun P and Rio Tacos are refueling. J-Mac coming across does not need the fuel, as we see Rio Tacos there. Goes a little wide. And J-Mac safely through. Go back up here to the front and Fan. Coming through Parabolica for one more lap. Castro coming through as well, as is Jim Shady. So it looks like it'll be Jim Shady, then Castro. Newbie's got plenty of fuel, so the next ones of our leaders will be Castro and Jim Shady. Old School here in 5th. Pretty much by himself, but who knows when pit stops happen. Yeah, $50 on Fan. That's probably not a bad bet today. Don P. J-Mac behind him. Rio Tacos closing in on J-Mac. Rotten Kraut having a little better time of it this race than last. He had all kinds of difficulties, and then he was behind, and then that's made him push, and it went even worse for him then. So let's see here. Fan Coming through Parabolica here. Got Castro and Jim Shady right on top of each other. Let's hop on board with Jim Shady. He's going to come into the pits, as is Castro. So we'll come out of that. So Forfan up in the lead with very little practice. And Newbie 12 seconds back. Old School has taken over third place. Castro should be coming out now, but Castro far enough to where that's not going to be a concern. Jim Shady is coming out as well. Castro did not take tires and Jim Shady did, so that's the difference in pit deltas there. J-Mac has decided to come in for fuel. Probably needs to take tires as well. May as well sit here and watch and see what he does. Yep, tires. Rotten Crowd is coming in as well. He definitely wants tires. Alright, so up front for Fan. Got another couple laps before he'll need to come in. Newbie's got at least one more lap, 2 more laps, so probably 3 laps for Forfan, 2 for Newbie. Old School's probably got a couple more laps as well. Castro just came in, so he's looking good. We have 16 minutes left, so probably 2 more pit stops, maybe. Newbie has come in to get fuel. I'm assuming he will skip tires this time through. He did. In goes the fuel. See, Old School, he will take tires. He is. Newbie's done with the fueling. Old School is out. Don P will come through. And he is out of fuel. You can hear that. So he pushed it. So safely in to get fuel. For Fan, he will pit this time and he will take tires if he is smart, and he is. So got the red blinking fuel light on. Newbie will stay out. He's a fair pace back. Should be close. Here he comes. Forfan in for his service. Newbie and Castro pretty close to each other. Jim Shady 4 seconds back. Old School's 8 seconds back from there. Rio Tacos 8 seconds back from there. J-Mac 20 seconds back from there. Here comes Forfan coming out, still in the lead. Stay on that side of the white line. There we go, safely out with no penalties. And Newbie right there. Castro's still right here. Newbie's tires are looking better than Castro's. Jim Shady's tires look better than everybody that's out there that didn't just come out of the pits. Old School there, looking good. Rio Taco taking on fuel tank, no tires. Interesting strategy, given the state of those tires. J-Mac closing in. Give me a little nudge. So he comes out. Well, he had nowhere to go. Rio Taco goes a little wide, gets a little bump, but everybody's good to go. J-Mac has not been able to get around him. Rio Taco stays there in 6th place. Castro has come in for fuel. Rio looks like he's gathered himself together and able to keep that 6th place. Ooh, J-Mac got a good run on him. See if he can do anything going into Parabolica here. When you have a driver that's doing that, it does not give you any confidence to try to get around them. So sometimes you just got to be safe. Fan in the lead, but Newbie is making up some ground on that position. See how long he can do that. Might burn up his grip and tires before he gets there. 11 minutes to go in this race. Old School still being pursued by Jim Shady there by less than a second. He's got Slipstream. If he can get a good run out of this Parabolica, maybe he can do something going into turn 1. But Old School comes in, so that gets rid of that battle. Fan here. Newbie in the pits, so no problem there for a fight. So Jim Shady has moved up into 2nd place, but that will change when he needs to pit. Fan got a couple more laps. He'll have to pit one more time. Jim Shady definitely will need to pit one more time. Newbie is out in 3rd place. 8 seconds ahead of Old School. Old School still being pursued by Castro. Castro's got some better tires, so let's see what happens going through here. Couldn't get onto the power out of those curves. A little wide there. See if he can cut this one. No cutting. Old School's pulling away a little bit. Not now. We go into a Ascari. Through there nicely. Let's see what's going on up here. Fan has caught up to Don P. Jim Shady has gone into the pits. Blue flag out for Don P. He moves to the side. Fan goes on through. And continues his 25-second lead. Newbie here. Much more fuel than it. Fan may need to pit this lap. As thirsty as these cars are, it's not worth the trip. We've seen 2 cars run out of fuel, so if I was in this position, I'd go ahead and go pit before it hits red. And it just hit red, so I bet he comes in. And no tires. These should last at least one more stint. All right, so let's follow Don P. See where he ends up. Nope, he's getting tires, so that'll help Newbie. Here comes Newbie. There goes the fuel on 4Fan, so this could be tight. And there he goes, gets released. And he's moving, and there he is. So we're coming up on turn 1. He got around him. Good run off that corner. Putting some distance on him. But 4Fan has full tank and brand new tires. That was good. The question is, does Newbie have enough to finish the race? I'd say 4Fan does. I bet Newbie's not going to make it to the end of the race. So 4Fan, it'll be close. But if he doesn't, it'll be a real quick half tank and go. Old school. Castro will need to pit one more time as well. So going to be an interesting finish. Fuel consumption is going to play into this. Newbie will not be able to make it to the end, but 4Fan, I'm thinking probably will be. Old school. Oh. Here's Jim Shady. Castro pursuing 4th place. Jim Shady getting around. Did he get around him? There he goes. So yeah, he just blew past him in the straightaway with that slipstream. Jim Shady's going purple. Old school has the fastest lap for now. Jim Shady's putting some distance between him and old school. Castro's still in pursuit of 4th place. Wouldn't count him out. Jim Shady here in 3rd. Marching his way back to the front. And Newbie's coming in. And 4Fan is taking the lead again. So Newbie dropping back to 2nd place. Jim Shady's coming around to move up into 2nd place. Newbie has not started taking fuel. There he is. So Newbie's in. Old school's gone in. Castro's gone in. Rio Taco is still out. So it looks like this is coming down to 4Fan. It's coming down to 4Fan. I think Jim Shady's going to need to pit one more time. Castro took on a full load of fuel, as did Old School. See how much Newbie took. He took on full tank of fuel as well. So see, Jim Shady, he'll need to pit. I would take three-fourths of a tank or half a tank, because I think you can make it on half a tank, because we've got 3 minutes left. That's 2 laps. So I think that is his best bet, because he cannot make it one more lap after this. 4Fan, definitely plenty of fuel. Jim Shady will need fuel, but I think it'll be half a tank. We'll stay on board here, see what happens. Definitely coming in. He has no choice. So let's jump on to Newbie here. I think he's going to be able to take the position. Jim Shady has just now started taking fuel. 30, 40, 50, 63. Okay, so short fill. Can he keep third place? Old School's coming out. And Jim Shady is ahead of Old School, as we see him way up there. So no chance of him gaining a spot. So Forfan in the lead with fuel to make it to the end. Newbie is in second with plenty of fuel to the end. Jim Shady, same situation. So we've got 18-second lead on Newbie. Forfan going around J-Mac, using that slipstream for a little bit of extra speed. Newbie coming through the Scary curves. So 17 seconds behind. He's got 8 seconds on Jim Shady. Jim Shady's got 4 on Old School. Old School has roughly 3 on Castro. Castro's 14 ahead of Rio Taco. Don P is 34 seconds behind him. Rotten Kraut is right there on Rio Taco, so that's our fight right here. Oh, side by side, good pass. Little bump there from Don P. So we'll get back out here. All right, so Forfan. All right, this is not good for Forfan. 27 seconds. 16 back. Newbie's got a... I think he's got enough time that he can win without... Yeah, that's what he's doing, because he would not be able to make it around another lap. He's coming to a stop to take the checkered flag. The slowest finish win ever. Newbie in second place. Jim Shady coming across in third place. Old School in fourth place. Castro coming up here to take fifth. Following around, Parabolica here. Yeah, that was a heck of a win for Forfan. Great race. Rio Taco here, running on fumes to get his sixth place finish. And there he goes as he runs out of fuel. Rotten Kraut coming through his car. Whoa, Don P. Just lost it. And here he comes to take 8th place. J-Mac has taken 9th place. And he just ran out of fuel. So coasting across the finish line. And we are done. That was most interesting with all the different pit strategies. So yeah, definitely kept it interesting for sure. So let's go look at the final results. Forfan with the win. Newbie in second place. Jim Shady in third. Old School, fourth and fastest lap with a 127.3. Castro in fifth. Rio Taco sixth. Rotten Kraut in seventh. Don P in eighth. And then we finish it off with J Mac in ninth and Sleepy Turbo in 10th place. So there you go, folks. But another really good race there. The fuel strategy was great. That added a lot to the race. So definitely kept it interesting, kept you on your toes. Didn't know who was going to win, but halfway through, Forfan definitely came to the forefront and had a really good race, really good strategy. And I think a couple people there at the beginning ran out of fuel, and that ruined his race. So kind of took him out of it and had another one run out of fuel. But I think he ran out right before he got to the pit. So wasn't too detrimental, but wasn't great. But yeah, that ought to move Forfan up the standings, since he was just one behind Ricky B and not Jim Shady, and that should put him in the lead of the championship. So good for him. That'll be really good. So I believe that is our race for this week. And I think next week we are at the high speed ring, which should be a very interesting race, to say the least, with that big, humongous bank curve and then the sharp bank curve. So should be a good one. And you know what? I will not be here. Well, no, I think next week is Thanksgiving week, so there's no race next week. So the races will proceed after that. So we will see you in 2 weeks' time, and thanks for watching.